Hi, my name's Daniel. Today I'll be reviewing How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps by Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is an American conservative political commentator. He's a media host, he is the editor-in-chief of the Daily Wire, and also his wife's a doctor. I'll be honest, while I was reading this book, it took me a little bit to figure out exactly what those 3 ideas were. I feel like Ben Shapiro is really good at showing a big picture, like the big key ideas, and I'll say that even though there's 3 steps, I would say that they really could all meld into one idea. Now, those 3 steps are to disintegrate American philosophy, to disintegrate American culture, and to disintegrate our history. Now, I would say that with those 3 steps, really you could dissolve them all down into the idea that either America is at its core good or at its core bad. And he draws this idea and he says that there are people who are on either side. There are disintegrationists and there are Unionists. And the disintegrationists will say that everything about America, including its philosophy, culture, and history, are at its core evil, bad, founded on white supremacy and hatred and just being the evil patriarchy and being the man that we need to fight back against. But then there's also the Unionist idea of America that says, while our history is not perfect, like nobody's history is perfect, the core fundamental ideas that created the country that we live in are good, and it is our goal to live up to those ideas and to strive for a better America. Reading through the sections on philosophy and culture, to me, I personally felt like they were even closer, similar ideas. I know Ben Shapiro is a lot more well-read and educated than I am, so I'm sure that he can dictate and decipher those little nuances, but I feel like philosophy was talking about the laws of America, and then culture was the ideas of America. So now we'll go over how exactly to destroy America in 3 easy steps. So first, we have to disintegrate American philosophy. And the way that we do that is by saying that every law, every parchment paper that was written on, the Declaration of Independence, the Founding Fathers' ideals for this country, the laws that are in place today are founded on the idea of white supremacy, of patriarchy, of group dominance and hierarchy, and that it is all deeply rooted in oppression and holding minorities and individuals down so that the few can rise to the top. Step 2 on how to destroy America in 3 easy steps is to disintegrate our culture. Basically, everything that is ingrained in American culture, the nuclear family, the 9-to-5 job, capitalism, all of these ideas, the idea that you can work hard and be successful, is a white supremacist, dominance hierarchy founded idea that is made to keep people on the bottom poor and make the people up top richer and richer indefinitely and exponentially. It is this idea that all of these things that we cherish, good old American apple pie and baseball, all of these things are from its very core full of hate and separation, and that it is purely made to keep the powerful powerful and to keep the hungry poor. Step 3 of how to destroy America in 3 easy steps, we must disintegrate our history. American history isn't a story of people leaving a tyrannical government who followed their coattails and tried to hold them down and pull them back. It's not a group of people who saw ideals of freedom, individual, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We don't have God-given freedoms. No, America was founded on slavery. It was founded on people who saw an opportunity to oppress Native Americans. The whole reason that people came to America and that laid the foundation for our beliefs was in order to destroy caused bloodshed and misery for those who were helpless. That we didn't grow towards success and freedom. We didn't grow towards equality, but every step of the way, our history has been one bloody genocide after the other. We were slaveholders, and we were proud about that, and that is who we are. The culmination of those three ideas is really, in my personal opinion, the idea of shame. Shame is a very clever tactic in order to destroy America. Because the thing is, heaping shame on our culture, our philosophy, and our history won't actually make anything better, which is why it's genius. Because the thing is, shame just begets more horrid actions, which just begets more shame. That is the philosophy of disintegrationists. Shame creates a positive feedback loop. So you have shame because something bad happened, and you think, oh my goodness, I did this, that's who I am. And so the next time a situation arises, you're already at this low level. You already understand your capacity for evil. And so why not do it again? And you do. And then you feel shame again, which puts you deeper in the hole, and it happens over and over and over again. The alcoholic drinks all night, gets angry, has an outburst, and then he wakes up hungover and ashamed, which causes him to need to drink more to hide that shame, and he does it night after night, over and over again, relentlessly. Wow, what a downer this book is. No, it's not actually all completely negative, because the thing is, Ben Shapiro shows both sides. He shows the story of the disintegrationist, and he shows the story of the Unionist. The Unionist says that our philosophy was pure, it was good, we had good ideas, and we had the intention of good things to happen, that our culture is good, and our ideas that we live with, that we grow with, that we develop our country with are good, that our history has our stains. Like any civilization from the beginning to the end has its stains, has its bad moments. If you say that America must pay for the sins of its past, well then you're going to have to ask a whole lot of people in a whole lot of countries to pay for the sins of their past. The world was founded on blood and war, and that is where we are at. And of course we have grown from that. That is a part of the past of all of our ancestors. And if you know history at all, there's no getting away from that. Ben sees that there's a problem with this split. If America really is as awful as the disintegrationists say that it is, it can't survive. But if it really is as great as Unionists say it is, then we must make it greater. We must make it better and strive for success and greatness. But the thing is, these two ideas cannot live together. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Ben draws a beautiful portrait of American history in this book. He shows it from the Unionist perspective as well as from the disintegrationist perspective. And while reading American history through the Unionist perspective, I must say that I felt quite patriotic. In his book, Ben describes Civil War soldiers marching off to battle, singing the battle hymn of the Republic, saying that those who are enslaved, we will set free. And I really resonated with that, and it's one of those reads that makes you feel very patriotic, that makes you feel proud to say that I'm American, I'm a part of the United States of America, and that with our faults and with our flaws and with our bloody, gory history that we have, it is something that we can learn and grow from, and it is something that we have learned and grow from. Can there be more growth from here? Of course. But should we look at our history, our culture, and philosophy and shake our head in anger and wag our finger, our all-knowing finger? Because of course I know everything that there is to know, and nobody could possibly enlighten me whatsoever. And so I'm the one who must dictate how awful our country is. Of course. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely absurd. But no, there is something to be celebrated. There is something for all of us to share. And this is something very important that Ben says. He says, without this common ground, that we have a shared history with its marks, with its scars. We have a shared culture. Yes, there are different ideas within our cultures, within our country. But overall, we believe in freedom for all. We believe that everybody has the right to do as they please without infringing the rights of others. In our philosophy, we believe that people try our best to write laws to support people's freedoms, not to force people to do things, but to allow people to truly be free. And in those flaws, we weed them out, which is why we have the executive, legislative, and judicial branch. Ben gets into all of that. He gets into why our political structure is the way it is, because not one individual is made to hold power over another. Not even a majority of individuals should be allowed to force the arm of another. Because at the root of our culture, of our philosophy, of our history is the idea that all men were created by God to be equal, and that we all deserve to pursue happiness and to have life and liberty. Who do I think should be reading this book? I think that if you've ever seen Ben Shapiro's podcast and you like the way that he talks, the way that he flows, I swear that man doesn't breathe. I would say this book is for anybody who likes Ben Shapiro's podcast. If you like any other conservative talk shows or conservative books, I would say this is the book for you. For someone with different political ideas and you're trying to do research or see how someone on the other side thinks, I would say that this is the perfect book to read, because what it does is it overviews the foundation of modern conservative thought. This is my first Ben Shapiro read. He has written multiple books. This is the first one that I've read. I'm still kind of chewing on it, seeing how I feel about it. Maybe I'll read more books by him, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But I'll say that I absolutely, thoroughly, very thoroughly, tremendously enjoyed reading this book. I got this book because I was listening to Ben Shapiro's podcast. It's something I found to be extremely relevant, and I will say I wasn't 100% sure what to expect, what the 3 steps were, but once he laid it out, I was actually very impressed with the way that he wrote this book and structured it. Overall, I'd say it was definitely worth the read, and I enjoyed it. Have you read Ben Shapiro's book, How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps? Do you plan on it? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Ben Shapiro's podcast if you watched it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you like this format and this style of videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so very kindly for watching my book review of How to Destroy America in 3 Easy Steps by Ben Shapiro. Have a wonderful day, America.